Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ya boy is back. For those of you interested, I was on vacation last week, that's why I missed a video. I'm sorry. But we are back on the set. It feels beautiful to be back here with my still broken snitch, rest in peace. My Flannels for Life poster. Would anyone buy that, by the way? Should I put it for sale? If you'd buy it, let me know. Let's see if I can set you guys here without you crashing to the ground. But we are back in the swing of things, and what better way to get back into the Buzzfeed test than some pizza? You guys overwhelmingly voted for the best homemade pizza you'll ever make over the 3 other options. And being from New York, I am a little bit of a pizza snob. I'm a little bit picky with it, and this should be interesting because we're making everything from scratch. So let's get right into it. So like I said, guys, we are pretty much making every component of this homemade, and the ingredients you're gonna need to get are some extra virgin olive oil and whole tomatoes, some fresh mozzarella and some warm water, flour, some salt and sugar, and of course some active dry yeast for our dough. And we're gonna start with the yeast. So I grabbed 2.5 cups of some warm water, and to that added some sugar and 2 teaspoons or 1 packet of yeast. You're going to want to see some bubbles in 10 or 15 minutes time. If you do not, your yeast might be a little bit old, your water might have been too hot and killed off the yeast. But mine is looking pretty good, so in a completely separate bowl, I grabbed 7 cups of flour, added to that some salt, and a few tablespoons of olive oil, which a lot of people said in the comments was kind of weird to them. I don't really know, I'm just going to do it. And then of course added in my yeasty water mix. And for the next 10 minutes, got the forearm and wrist and hand workout of a lifetime by kneading the heck out of this dough. Now according to the video and many blogs I've read on pizza dough making, this is to develop the gluten. In my eyes, this is just overworking some white Play-Doh until your arms are about to fall off. In any case, I completed the 10 minutes, and in a clean bowl with a little bit of olive oil, I tossed my dough in, gave it a coating in the oil, and then covered that up. And mine kind of rose a ton. I was pretty shocked by this. So I just dumped it out. I kneaded it a bit again. You're gonna want to form 4 equal smaller balls and let all of those rise individually for another hour. And in the meantime, I started to work on my marinara sauce, or in Tasty's case, a jar of whole tomatoes blended up with some salt. I don't know how I really feel about this. I feel like most pizza marinara sauces have a little bit more to them, but I will not add anything. I'm just gonna use this just as they used in the video. Now, I went back over to my dough mounds, which have risen again, and I took the one I was gonna use and started to work it out into a circle. Now, if some of you remember, I did work in an Italian restaurant a few years ago, and I made a few pizzas. Definitely not an expert in this field whatsoever, so for those of you chefs or actual legitimate pizzerias out there, do not come for my neck. But once I thought I had it the same diameter as the cookie sheet I was gonna cook it on, I layered on my ingredients. A little bit of the marinara sauce, and then I shredded up some of this fresh mozzarella ball. I have my own thoughts and opinions on this step, but I will save them for a little bit later. I tried to give it a nice even coating, and now it's time to move it into the oven, and I wish I thought of this a little bit earlier, because this was a nightmare. I should have just formed it on this cutting board and not had to try to flip it up on top of it, because I almost ripped the whole pizza in half. The cheese was flying everywhere. It took me a few minutes to finally get it on there, but I did. And then on my preheated cookie sheet in my 500-degree oven, I kind of flipped the pizza in on there and gave it 10 minutes to cook fully. And I know what you're thinking, where's the oregano or Parmesan or anything other than salt? There is none. They do put some basil at the end, but I'd rather not bite into a full basil leaf, so I'm gonna leave mine like this. It did get some nice color in the oven though, so I'm excited to give this a try. I do really like the browning of like the cheese over near the crust, and it smells really good. I do have endless doubts, if you couldn't already tell that though, so I'll give you a 10-second rundown of how this is. The crust tastes like nothing. The sauce is like very bland or non-existent. Maybe I didn't put enough. And the cheese is good because it's melted mozzarella. My main grievance with this is the crust is way too thick. Even in their video, it was even thicker than mine, so I don't know how they eat that. I'm gonna get roasted so bad for critiquing this, but I eat pizza like every other day. Come on, it has to be good. I am hungry though, so I'm almost finished the whole thing. I know a decent cafeteria pizza when I see or taste one. It's not terrible. It's easy. It took me like 30 minutes to make minus the dough rising time. I do want to make one more quick pizza though with the same ingredients. Number one, to show you guys how I would do it differently, and number two, because I'm hungry and I don't want to eat this. Now, like I said, my number one issue was the fact that the dough was so thick and bland. And because I'm cooking on a rectangular cookie sheet, the only way to get it thinner is to make a rectangular pizza. I know that's sacrilegious, but it's what we have to do today. I got my dough as thin as I possibly could. I threw on some more marinara sauce this time, adding a little bit more salt, some dried oregano, some Parmesan cheese, just to give it a little more flavor. And finally, another huge thing. For those of you who don't know, the normal pizzeria, when you order cheese pizza, it's not fresh mozzarella. 95% of pizzeria use either low moisture slices or freshly shredded, low moisture mozzarella cheese. So that's what I'm gonna use. I shredded up my own, and the reason being is because you can give it a nice thick coating of cheese without it seeping out juices all over the oven or getting too mushy in the crust. I gave my pizza a nice coating in that. I baked it in a little lower temperature oven this time for a little bit longer. I cut myself up a few little squares, and this smells great too, so let's give this one a try. So, disregarding the shape, doesn't this look more like a normal pizzeria's cheese pizza? Yup. That's the one. Look how thin the crust is too. In my opinion, that is what you're looking for right there. I would like a little more color on the bottom, but 100 times better. Just the Parmesan underneath the mozzarella alone makes a difference. At the end of the day, pizza is just an easy, delicious breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Make it with whatever you got at home, whatever you like to eat. Just enjoy pizza. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Buzzfeed test. If you did, slap a big like on this. Again, let me know if you guys would be interested in buying one of those, because I can easily put them on a store or something. Again, sorry for missing last week. I have another video either Sunday or Monday. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. Other than that though, have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you right back here next time. Peace!